these hidden
feed and groom
ecosystems.
her and
Life
carry
here
eggs
are
to
extremophiles,
Her
lovers of
abdomen
extreme
swells.
conditions. The
She may live
subglacial
for
microbes
many
are
years,
chemotrophs,
sometimes
chemical
over a
eaters.
decade,
They derive
and
energy
her
from
health
chemical
determines
reactions,
the
not light.
colony's fate.
Microscopic
If the
miners, they
queen
eat
dies
minerals
with
in
no
rocks and
replacement,
sediment. They
the
break down
workers
compounds of
continue for a
iron,
time,
manganese,
but
and
with
sulfur,
no new
releasing
generations,
tiny sparks of
the
energy,
colony
just
slowly
enough
fade
to live
away.
and reproduce.
She is not a
slow,
ruler in the
patient way
human
of life.
sense.
Imagine
She
a
is
world
the
with no day or
reproductive
night.
engine whose
A
chemical
landscape
signals
of muddy
unite the
floor and an
colony.
endless ice ceiling.
The workers are the
Inhabitants,
true
ancient
heroes of the
archaea,
ant
some
world.
isolated for millions
They
of years,
build,
evolved
maintain,
adaptations for
and
immense
sustain
pressure and
the
near freezing water,
entire colony.
cellular
Young
machinery that
workers
runs much
often
slower
start
than surface
inside as
microbes.
nurses,
To truly
cleaning,
appreciate the wonder of this
feeding,
hidden
and
life,
tending eggs,
we must understand the
larvae,
process
and
that
pupae.
fuels it.
They feed helpless
Chemosynthesis.
larvae, often
While the
with
word may sound
regurgitated
complex,
food
the
from their
concept
social
is
stomachs.
flexible.
As they
It is
age,
life's
they
alternative
graduate
to photosynthesis.
maintenance, reinforcing
Photosynthesis
walls,
uses light
excavating
energy
new
to build
tunnels,
organic
clearing
matter from
debris.
carbon dioxide and
Specialist
water.
sanitation
Chemosynthesis
workers
uses
carry
chemical
away
energy.
corpses
The microbes
and
in
waste
these lakes
to
are
middens,
masters of this
never to
unique
return
alchemy,
to clean
turning
zones.
inorganic minerals
Older
into the stuff
workers
of
take
life.
on foraging,
They are the producers in
navigating
this dark
hostile
food
terrain,
web, just as plants
avoiding
are the
predators,
producers in our
and
sunlit
locating
world.
food.
Think of it like a tiny,
When a worker
slow-burning
finds a
fire.
resource,
Certain
she
minerals
will carry
contain stored
pieces
chemical
many times
energy,
her own
iron
weight back to the
pyrite,
nest.
fool's gold,
A life
compounds
of
of sulfur.
constant labor.
When these minerals
Nursing,
react with other
building,
substances in the
and
water,
foraging,
such
the
as
worker is a
oxygen that might be
master
trapped in
of
the
all
lake,
trades.
that energy is released.
Without their
The
relentless
chemosynthetic
efforts, the great
microbes have
underground
evolved
city would
specialized
crumble.
enzymes,
Their
molecular
tireless
tools that
labor
allow them to
sustains a
control and capture
civilization
this
built
energy
on
release.
cooperation
They use
and
it to power
sacrifice.
their metabolism and
The
to fix
construction
carbon,
of an ant
taking
nest
dissolved
is a
carbon dioxide
breathtaking
from the
feat
water
of
and building
collaborative
it into the
engineering.
organic molecules
There is no
they grow.
blueprint.
This
It
process
emerges
is
from
not
the
entirely
coordinated
new to
actions
science.
of
We first
thousands of
discovered
individuals. Each
chemosynthesis
worker
in the
follows simple
1970s at
rules.
hydrothermal
Dig
vents.
here,
There,
carry this
mineral-rich
grain
water feeds
there.
vibrant supported by
Repeat it.
chemosynthetic
These
bacteria.
create immense
The discovery of a
The
similar
result is
process at work
architecture
under
of
the
immense
Antarctic ice
sophistication.
shows this is a fundamental
Reshape the
strategy
landscape
for
on a
life
miniature
without
scale, creating
The ecosystems
homes
beneath the
tailored
Antarctic
to their
ice are more than
environment.
just a scientific
Chambers are
curiosity. They are a
temperature,
working model of
humidity,
a completely
and
different way
ventilation.
for a biosphere to function.
Leafcutter ant
They
culture,
force us to dissect
carrying leaves not to
and
eat,
imagine
to
on
grow
geology.
fungus.
Visualize
They chew
a vast,
leaves with
gaudy-
saliva and
the
waste
floor of
and
this lake is
cultivate
not just
fungal
inert
gardens
mud,
that
it
feed
is a
the
source of
colony.
nourishment.
In a city
Here,
of millions,
collards cluster around
sanitation is
mineral-rich rocks.
vital. Designated waste
forests
chambers
and
and undertakers
fields
prevent
of this lightless
disease.
world.
Some
From
workers
there, the food
specialize
web can
life
be
in
other
refuse
types of microbes.
areas, sacrificing
Consumers
themselves
might feed on
for
these
the
primary
colony.
producers.
Tunnels and chambers
And then there are the
positioned for
recyclers that
ventilation.
specialize in
The
breaking down
nest is
dead
a
organic
regulated
material,
environment.
returning systems
Gardens
so
are
they can
tended
be used again.
and waste
It is a
efficiently
complete
removed,
self-sustaining
all without
ecosystem,
central command.
operating in ultra-slow
Simple
motion,
rules followed by
powered not
many
by the
produce
sun, but by the
complex,
faint warmth and
intelligent
chemical
behavior.
richness of the planet
Order from
planet
chaos.
itself.
The
Microbes we are
dark,
finding
silent
are
world
living
of the
genetic
ant nest
information
is
that
in
can tell us
fact
about
a
the history of life on
conversation.
Earth and the
Ants do
fundamental
not
ways
speak
life
with
can
sounds
adapt
as
to
we do.
survive in places once
Instead,
thought
communicate
uninhabitable.
through a rich
We now have a
language of
blueprint for
chemicals
life that does
called
not depend on a
pheromones.
star's energy being
An
received
ant
at the
produces
surface.
many pheromones
It shows us that as long as
for
the planet is
food, danger,
geologically
and
active,
identity.
providing heat and minerals,
A forager
and possesses
finds
liquid
food and
water,
returns to
it
the
has
nest,
the potential to
leaving
support
a
life.
faint pheromone
The
trail
implications
like
of these
breadcrumbs.
Antarctic discoveries
Other
extend
workers
far
detect
beyond
the
our own
trail with
planet.
antennae.
They resonate
More
across the
ants
solar system,
reinforce it,
sending ripples of
creating an
excitement
efficient
through the
system.
search for
If the
extraterrestrial
food
life.
runs out,
For
ants
years,
stop laying the
astronomers and
trail, and the
astrobiologists
chemical
have looked to
signal
other worlds with
evaporates.
tantalizing possibilities.
Communication
Not
also
warm
happens
Earth-like
through
planets,
direct
but cold,
contact.
icy moons
Antennae
orbiting the
touch,
giant
a greeting
planets of
and
our
ID
outer solar
check.
system. Jupiter's
Alarm
Europa,
pheromones
Saturn's
warn of danger.
Enceladus. From the
Colony
outside, these
chemical
moons look like
signatures
sterile
prevent
balls of
intruders
ice.
from entering
But we know from
unchallenged.
data sent back by
They share
spacecraft
food
like
via
Galileo and
trophallaxis,
Cassini that they are hiding a
transferring
secret
chemical
remarkably
information
similar
about
to
colony health
Antarctica's.
and needs.
Beneath their thick crusts
This
of ice,
chemical flow
Europa's
allows
subsurface
collective
ocean,
decision-making
Enceladus'
across the
subsurface
colony.
ocean. These
Trail
oceans are
strength
kept
acts
liquid
like a
not by the
vote.
distant sun,
Scouts
but by
lay
tidal
trails
forces.
to new sites.
As the moons
The
orbit
colony
their massive
selects
parent
popular
planets,
options
gravitational
without a leader.
squeezing generates
A
friction and heat in
decentralized
their
chemical
cores.
brain
These
spread across
subsurface
the city.
oceans could have all
The
the
study of
ingredients
ants
necessary
is
for
not
life
just
as we now understand
curiosity.
it. They have
These
liquid
tiny
water, a
insects
source
are
of energy
powerful
from the internal
teachers.
heat,
From
and rock floors
robotics to
providing minerals that
logistics,
could fuel
engineers
chemosynthesis.
study ants
These
to
dark,
design
high-pressure,
algorithms
mineral-rich
and
environments
swarm
could be
systems.
analogs for
The
Europa's
rule-based
ocean.
logic
Life
ants
under the ice
used
on
to
Earth
find the
provides a
shortest
powerful
path
proof of
inspired
concept.
computer
Future missions
algorithms
to
used
Europa,
to
like
optimize
NASA's Europa
delivery
Clipper,
routes and
will
data
analyze
traffic.
ice composition.
These
and sample
ideas
plumes
now
for
help manage
biosignatures.
internet traffic
Antarctica
and logistics
has given us a
networks.
reason to believe and a
Swarms of
roadmap for
simple
what to look
robots
for.
follow basic
With great
rules.
discovery comes
Through
great
interaction,
responsibility.
they
The
accomplish
subglacial
complex
lakes of
tasks
Antarctica
without
are not just a
central
scientific
control.
playground.
Beyond
They are unique,
technology,
ancient,
ants
and
are
incredibly
ecosystem
fragile
engineers.
ecosystems.
Tiny
They are among the very
farmers and
last
gardeners
truly
that
pristine
aerate
places on our
soil
planet.
and disperse
The risk
seeds.
of contamination
Their
is not
tunneling
a trivial
improves
matter.
soil
A
quality,
single microbe
helping
from the
water
surface
and
introduced by a
nutrients reach
contaminated
plant
drill
roots.
could potentially
Many
wreak
ants are
havoc on a
predators of
microbial community that has
agricultural
evolved in
pests, providing
isolation for
natural
millions
pest
of years.
control.
It could outcompete the
Understanding
native
these
life and destroy
interactions
a
is
world we are
crucial
only
for
just beginning to
conserving
understand.
ecosystems and
Recognizing this
agricultural
profound
health.
responsibility,
Ants
the
remind us that
international
the
scientific
smallest
community has
creatures
come
can
together to
profoundly
establish
affect the
strict
world
protocols
around
for
them.
exploring these environments.
Curiosity about the
guiding
smallest
principle
things
is to protect
often
these
sparks
systems
the
for future
greatest
generations.
discoveries.
Any
We
mission
have
planning
journeyed
to
deep
enter a
into the
subglacial
world of
lake
the
must
ant.
undergo years of
We have seen
rigorous
vast
environmental
subterranean
assessment and
cities and
technological
uncovered
review.
chemical
This involves
secrets.
extreme sterilization
For all we have
procedures for all
learned,
equipment,
much remains a
ensuring we
mystery.
explore with the
How do
lightest
they
possible
coordinate
touch.
with such
Robotic
precision?
probes and minimal
How do they
contact
navigate
sampling
so
are the way
accurately?
forward. It is a commitment
Scientists
born of
still
respect
probe
for
their
the
chemical
unknown. These efforts are
conversations and
enshrined in
navigation
international
systems.
agreements like the Antarctic
That
Treaty,
humble
which
mound
designates
is a
the entire
gateway to
continent as a
questions and
natural
undiscovered
reserve devoted to peace and
complexity.
science.
Entire
Scientific
universes
committees
of
provide detailed
complexity
guidelines
live right
categorizing
beneath our
different
feet,
subglacial
waiting
environments
to
and
be
recommending
explored.
levels of protection.
Their
The
success
story
is
of
not
Antarctica's
individual
hidden lakes is
brilliance, but
ultimately a story
collective
of
power.
connection to our
Bridges,
planet's deep
rafts,
past and the
living
possibility
tools
of
built
life
by
elsewhere.
many. It is
Supporting the
humble.
science that explores these
Other
worlds
forms
also
of
means supporting
intelligence
the
and
measures
ways
that
of
protect
living
them.
exist on
As we
this
slowly
planet.
draw back the
See an
veil,
ant.
we must
Pause.
do so with humility and
Think
care,
of the hidden city
ensuring these
below and the
extraordinary
millions
worlds
of
can
lives
continue to
unfolding in
exist
the dark.
undisturbed
Think of
long
the
into
nurses,
future.
the soldiers, the farmers, the engineers. Let it spark your curiosity.
For
The
millennia,
story of
it has
the
commanded
ant
the
is far
bottom of
from
our
over.
world. A
There are
vast and
still
silent
secrets
kingdom
buried
of
in
white,
the earth waiting to
Antarctica,
be
a
uncovered.
continent of superlatives,
share,
the coldest,
comment,
the driest,
and
the highest on our
subscribe to keep
planet.
exploring
It is a place of
nature's
brutal,
secrets.
stark beauty, wind-carved sculptures of ice, the sun hanging low for months. It seems almost lifeless. But this frozen
Have
desert
you ever
has been
walked
holding
across
a secret,
a lawn or
secret
through a
locked away for
forest?
millions of years,
Have you ever
buried
noticed a
beneath
small
ice
mound of
kilometers
earth
thick.
bustling with
Imagine a
tiny
landscape
scurrying
larger than Europe,
creatures?
entombed in frozen
This
water.
is an ant
The
hill.
Antarctic ice
From
sheet,
our great
a
height,
monumental
it seems
feature that
so
shapes weather and
small,
sea levels
so
worldwide.
insignificant.
For centuries,
But what if
explorers
we
and
could
scientists
shrink?
saw only its surface.
What if we could
All
become
that
as
time, they were
small as
walking
a
on a
single
hidden
grain
world,
of sand?
above a secret network
If
of
we
rivers
could,
and lakes.
we would
Deep
witness
beneath
one
the
of
glaring
nature's
white
greatest
surface of Antarctica
marvels.
lies a
We would find
perpetual
ourselves
darkness.
at the gateway
Here,
to a
hundreds of
sprawling
lakes are scattered across the
subterranean
continent,
city,
hidden from our
a
view.
metropolis
These are the
teeming with
subglacial
life,
lakes, bodies of
purpose,
liquid
and
water sealed off from
extraordinary
the outside
complexity.
world for an immense
This
span
is
of
not a
time.
city of humans.
Some have been
This
isolated
is a
for
city
hundreds
built
of
by
thousands of
ants.
years, others for
Imagine
millions.
descending
They are
into
not
the
small
darkness.
ponds either.
The world
The
above
largest of
fades
them,
away.
Lake Vostok,
We are
is
now
one of
in
the
a
biggest
realm
lakes on the
of tunnels
planet,
and chambers,
comparable in surface
all
area to
carved
Lake
from the
Ontario.
soil itself.
It is a vast,
The air is
unseen
thick
sea
with the
held
scent
in a
of damp
stasis
earth
of cold and
strange
blackness.
chemical
The
signals.
conditions in these buried
All around
worlds
us,
are unlike
countless
anything
bodies
found on the
move
surface
with
of our
relentless
planet.
energy.
The pressure is
They are
immense,
the citizens
exerted by
of
the
this
3 to 4
underground
kilometers
world.
of ice pressing
The
down from
scale of
above.
an ant
It is a
colony
weight
is
so
simply
great it will crush a
staggering.
military submarine.
A mature
And, of
colony
course,
can be
there
home
is the
to
darkness,
hundreds of
an
thousands or
absolute
even
unyielding
millions.
blackness that has
Some
not been
super
pierced by a
colonies
photon
formed by
for
multiple
geological
interconnected
ages.
nests
How does one
have been
find a
known
lake
to contain
hidden
billions
under
of ants
kilometers
and
of
can
solid
stretch
ice?
across continents.
You cannot see it. You
They
cannot simply
represent
walk
one of
to
the
its shore.
greatest
The discovery
concentrations
required a
of
leap
animal
of
life
imagination
on the
and
planet.
technology.
Ant
Scientists
nests
had to
or
find a way to
formicaries
peer
are
through the ice without
masterpieces of
physically
engineering.
touching what lay
More
beneath.
than random
The primary
burrows.
tool is radar,
The tunnels are
specifically
sculptural and
ice-penetrating
designed to
radar.
regulate temperature
Aircraft
and
fly with
humidity.
these instruments
They
over the
control
ice.
the flow
They
of
send
air,
radio waves
ensuring
down
the
through the
colony
frozen
can
layers.
breathe.
Waves
Deeper
travel until
chambers
they hit a
remain
boundary,
cool, while
something
upper
different.
chambers warm
Hitting
by the
bedrock
sun.
produces one kind of
This
bounce.
creates
Hitting
ideal
liquid water
incubators
produces
for
a
their
flat,
young.
smooth, very strong
Ants
return.
constantly
Interpreting
modify
those
and
ghostly
expand
echoes,
their homes to
scientists
fit
map the
seasonal
hidden liquid
needs.
landscape.
By
One
pouring
echo at a
plaster
time.
or
The
molten
flat
metal
reflections
into
revealed
abandoned
lakes.
nests and
The flat reflections
excavating,
revealed entire river
scientists
systems
revealed the
connecting
true
them.
complexity,
Once a lake is
branching
found,
mazes
the next
like
challenge is
pallet
how to reach
trees.
it. Drilling through
paths look
kilometers
like
of ice.
abstract.
Subglacial
They show
lakes, none has
deliberate,
captured the
intelligent
imagination
design.
quite like Lake
Afford
Voss
protecting against
Discovered in the
predators,
1990s
weather,
near the Russian Vostok
floods,
station,
and fire.
the coldest recorded place
Build
on Earth
emergency exits
of this
to protect
hidden
the
elm.
colony.
It is immense,
It is a
stretching
self-world
250
complete
kilometers
with
and reaching
everything the
depths of
colony
over
needs to survive.
buried beneath nearly 4
Within the
kilometers of
bustling
ice.
metropolis of the ant
off
colony,
from the surface
there is a
for an estimated
remarkable sense
15
of
million
order.
years.
This is
Across
not
the world,
chaos.
a fragment of our
This is
planet's
a
past
highly
preserved in
structured
deep
society.
freeze. For
There are
years,
typically
it was
three
the
main
ultimate
castes:
prize, a
the
target
queen,
for exploration
the
that pushed the
soldiers,
boundaries of
the
science and
workers.
technology. The
Each
challenge of
caste
reaching
is
Lake
physically
Vostok was
adapted
formidable.
for its duties.
The Russian Antarctic
Their
program
bodies,
spent
behaviors,
years
and
carefully
lives
drilling,
are dedicated to
pausing just
particular
above the
tasks.
lake's surface to analyze
Soldiers
the ice
are the
cores
defenders
extracted
of the
along
realm,
the way.
often
These ice cores
larger and
themselves
armed
are
with
a
formidable
priceless climate
mandibles.
record.
Some plug
Trapped air
entrances
bubbles.
like
They
living
tell the
doors.
story of
Their
Earth's
lives can be
atmosphere
short
over the
and
past
violent.
400,000
Necessary
years.
sacrifice
The
for
ice
the
just
colony.
above the Cretan ice is even more
Workers are the
special.
most
When
numerous
scientists
tasks.
finally analyzed this
Sterile females who are the
tantalizing hints
lifeblood
life,
of the colony.
the evidence was
They
microscopic.
build,
The chemical
excavate,
signatures, DNA
forage,
fragments, the
nurse,
bacteria.
clean,
While
and
Lake
maintain
Vostok is the
every
largest,
aspect
other
of colony
smaller
life.
lakes revel.
Roles often change with
One
age.
such place is Lake
Younger
Mercer, a
workers stay
subglacial
inside
lake
as
in West
nurses.
Antarctica,
Older
about
workers
1/10 the
forage
size of
outside.
Vostok. It
Nurses,
lies beneath a more
larvae,
modest,
and
though still
pupae,
immense,
feeding
1
and
kilometer of
grooming the
ice.
young.
In late
Other
2018,
workers are
a team of
sanitation
American
crews.
scientists
Waste
used a sterilized hot
corpses to
water drill,
middens to
bored
prevent
through the ice
disease.
sheet, and lowered
The colony
instruments into the
acts
dark
as a
water
single
below.
superorganism.
What they found
Each
was
caste
utterly
like an
unexpected.
organ performing
The team
a vital
expected
function.
microbes, and they
Together,
found
they
them.
create a
The
whole
water was
far
teeming
greater
with
than the
bacteria
sum of its
at
parts.
concentrations like
Resilient
ocean.
and productive.
The scientists
At
lowered
the very
cameras,
heart
sensors,
of the
and water
ant
samplers
colony,
into the inky
hidden
blackness,
deep within the most
painting a picture
protected
unseen
chamber,
environment.
resides
The lake
the
was
queen.
active, water slowly
She is the
circulating,
founder and the
a muddy
mother
bottom
of
rich
every
with
single
minerals.
ant in
The
the
real
city.
shock came when they
Her
examined
life
sediment
begins
samples.
as a princess
Tough
with
shells
wings.
of tiny crustaceans.
On a warm,
preserved
humid
husks
day,
under the microscope.
she and many
Hardy
others
bodies
take
of
to the
tardigrades.
air.
Water
This
bears
synchronized
under
nuptial
magnification.
flight
The
fills
discovery
the
of
sky
life in
where
these
she
buried
mates
lakes
with
begs a
males,
fundamental question.
storing enough sperm
How do they
to last
survive?
a lifetime.
On the surface of our
After
planet,
the
almost
flight, she
all life
lands,
depends
breaks off
directly
her
or
wings,
indirectly
and searches
on
for
the
a
sun.
place to start a new
Plants use
kingdom.
photosynthesis to
She
convert sunlight
excavates
into
a small
energy.
chamber,
Algae use
seals herself
photosynthesis to convert
inside,
sunlight into
and
energy,
lays her
forming
first
the
egg.
base of the food chain.
During this
In a world of
vulnerable
absolute
period,
and eternal
she does
darkness,
not eat,
photosynthesis is
surviving
impossible.
by metabolizing
So what
her
powers
wing
these
muscles,
hidden ecosystems?
dedicating
Life here
all
are
energy to her
extremophiles,
first children.
lovers of extreme conditions.
The first generation
subglacial
of
microbes
workers are
are
small and
chemotrophs,
weak, but
chemical eaters.
crucial.
They derive
Once
energy
mature,
from
they
chemical
take over the
reactions,
work
not
of the
light.
colony.
Microscopic miners,
From then
they
on,
eat
the queen's
minerals
one
and rocks
job
and
is to
sediment.
lay
They
eggs,
break down compounds of
often
iron,
thousands,
manganese, and
while
sulfur,
workers
releasing
feed
tiny
and
sparks of
groom her
energy,
and carry eggs
just
to
enough to live
nurseries.
and reproduce.
Her abdomen
A slow,
swells.
patient way
She
of
may
life.
live for many
Imagine a
years,
world with no day or
sometimes
night,
over a
a
decade.
landscape of muddy
And her
floor and an
health
endless
determines
ice
the
ceiling.
colony's fate.
Inhabitants, ancient
If the
bacteria,
queen
archaea,
dies
some
with no
isolated for
replacement,
millions of years,
the workers
evolved
continue
adaptations
for a
for immense
time,
pressure
but
and
with
near
no new
freezing water,
generations,
cellular
the
machinery
colony
that
will
runs much
slowly
slower
fade
than
away.
surface microbes.
She is not a
To truly
ruler in the
appreciate the
human
wonder of
sense.
this hidden life,
She is the
we must
reproductive
understand
engine
the
whose
process that
chemical
fuels
signals
it,
unite the
chemosynthesis.
colony.
While the
The
word may
workers are
sound
the true
complex, the
heroes of
concept
the
is
ant
beautifully
world.
simple.
They build,
It is life's
maintain,
alternative to
and
photosynthesis.
sustain the entire
Photosynthesis
colony.
uses light energy
Young
to build
workers
organic
often
matter from
start
carbon
inside as
dioxide and water.
nurses,
Chemosynthesis
cleaning,
uses
feeding,
chemical
and
energy.
tending eggs,
The microbes in these
larvae,
lakes are
and
masters of
pupae.
this unique
They
alchemy,
feed
turning
helpless
inorganic
larvae,
minerals
often
into
with
the stuff for
regurgitated
life.
food from their
They are the
social
producers
stomachs.
in this dark food
As they
web,
age,
just
they
as
graduate
plants
to
are the
maintenance,
producers in our
reinforcing
split world.
walls,
Tiny,
excavating
slow-burning
new
fire.
tunnels,
Certain
clearing
minerals
debris.
contain stored
Specialist
chemical
sanitation
iron
workers carry
pyrite,
away
fool's
corpses
gold,
and waste
compounds
to
of
middens,
sulfur. When
never
these
to
minerals
return to
react with
cleanse
other
them.
substances in the
Older
water,
workers take
such as
on
oxygen
foraging,
that might
navigating
trap
coastal terrain,
that energy is
avoiding
released.
predators,
The
and
synthetic
local
microbes
food.
have a molecular tool control.
When a
these
worker
reasons.
finds a
they use it to
resource,
power
this is
their
many
metabolism,
times her
taking
own
dissolved carbon dioxide,
a life
building it
of
into
constant
the organic
labor,
molecules they
nursing,
need to grow.
building, and
This
foraging.
process is
The
not
worker is a
entirely
master
new to
of all
science.
trades.
We first
Without their relentless efforts,
most
the great
recent
underground
genesis
city
in the
would crumble.
1970s at
Their
high
tireless
thermal
labor
plants.
sustains
There,
a
mineral-rich
civilization
water
built
feeds
on
vibrant communities
cooperation and
supported by
sacrifice.
chemosynthetic bacteria.
The
The
construction
discovery
of
of a
an
similar
ant nest is a
process
breathtaking
under
feat
the
of
Antarctic
collaborative
ice
engineering.
shows this is a
There is no
fundamental
blueprint,
natural strategy
It
for
emerges
life
from the
without
coordinated
the
actions
ecosystems
of
beneath the
thousands of
Antarctic ice are
individuals.
more than just a
Each worker
scientific
follows
curiosity.
simple rules.
They are a
Dig
working
here,
model of a
carry
completely
this
different
grain
way for
there.
a biosphere to function.
Repeated,
They
these
force
create
us to
immense
discard our
The
centric
result is
view
architect
and imagine a
sophistication.
biology
They
based on
reshape the
geology.
landscape on
Visualize
a miniature
a vast,
scale,
dark body
creating
of water. The
homes
floor of this
tailored
lake
to
is
their
not just
environment.
inert mud. It is
Chambers
a
are
source
placed to
of
regulate
nourishment. Colonies
temperature
of
to
microminerals. These are
Leaf
the
cutter
forests
ant culture,
and fields of this lifeless
carrying
world.
leaves not to eat
From
but to
web
grow
can be built.
fungus.
Other types of
They chew
microbes
leaves, mix with saliva and waste, and
might
cultivate
feed on these
fungal
primary
gardens that
producers.
feed the
And
colony.
then there are the recyclers,
Sanitation is
microbes
vital.
that specialize
Designated
in breaking
waste
down
takers
dead
prevent
organic
disease.
material, returning the essential
Some
nutrients to the
workers
system. It is
specialize
a
for
complete
life in refuse
ecosystem,
areas,
ultra-slow motion,
sacrificing
powered
cells
not by the faint warmthness of the
Tunnels and
planet
chambers
itself.
are positioned
The
for
microbes
ventilation.
we
Is
are
a
finding are
regulated
living
environment,
genetic
are
information
tended
of
and
the
waste
history of life
efficiently
on Earth,
removed,
and the
all
fundamental ways
without
life can
central
adapt
command.
to some places once
Simple
thought
rules followed by
uninhabitable.
many
We now have a
produce
blueprint for
complex,
life that does not
intelligent
depend on a
behavior.
star's energy being
Order
received
from
at the
chaos.
surface. It shows us that as
The
long as a
dark
planet is
side world of the
geologically
ant nest
active and
is in
minerals
fact
and
alive
possesses
with
liquid, it has a
conversation.
life.
Do not speak
The
with
implications
sounds
of
as
these
we
Antarctic
do.
discoveries
Instead,
extend
they
far beyond our own
communicate
planet.
rich
They
language of
resonate across
chemicals
the solar
called
system,
pheromones.
sending ripples of
An
excitement
ant's
through the
body
search for
produces
extraterrestrial
many
life.
pheromones.
For years,
For food,
astrobiologists have looked to
danger,
other worlds
and
with tantalizing
identity.
possibilities.
A
Not
four
rare
finds
Earth-like
food and
planets,
returns
but
to the
cold,
nest,
icy moons
leaving a
orbiting the
faint
giant
pheromone
planets of
trail
our outer
like
solar system.
breadcrumbs.
Jupiter's
Other
Europa,
workers detect
Saturn's
the trail with
Enceladus.
antennae.
From the outside,
More
these
ants
look like sterile balls of ice.
creating
But we know
an
from
efficient
data sent
system.
back by
If
spacecraft
the food
like
runs
Galileo
out,
and
ants stop
Cassini
laying
that they are
the trail,
hiding a
and
secret
the
remarkably
chemical
similar to
signal
Antarctica's.
evaporates.
Beneath their thick crusts of
Communication
ice,
also happens
Europa's
through
subsurface
direct
ocean,
contact.
Enceladus'
Antennae
subsurface
touch, heating and ice.
oceans are kept liquid
Alarm
not by
pheromones
tidal
warn of danger.
as the moons orbit
Colony
their
chemical
massive parent
signatures
planets,
prevent
gravitational
intruders
squeezing in their
unchallenged.
cores.
They share
These
food via
subsurface oceans could have
trophallaxis,
all the
transferring
ingredients
chemical
necessary for
colony
life as
health
we
and
now
heat.
understand
Fungal
it.
flow
They have
allows
liquid
collective
water, a
decision
source of
making.
energy from the internal
Trail
heat,
strength
and
acts
rock
like a
floors
boat.
providing minerals that
Scouts
could
lay
fuel
trails to new
chemosynthesis.
sites.
These dark,
colony
high-pressure,
selects
mineral-rich
popular
environments
options
could be
without a
analogs
leader.
for Europa's
A
ocean.
decentralized
Life under the
chemical
ice on
brain
Earth provides a
spread across
powerful
the
proof of
city.
concept.
The study
Future
of
missions
ants
to
is
Europa,
not just
like
curiosity.
NASA's Europa Clipper,
These
will
tiny
analyze ice
insects are
composition
powerful
and sample
teachers.
plumes for
From
biosignatures.
robotics to
Antarctica
logistics,
has given us a reason
engineers
to
study
believe and a
ants to
roadmap
design
for what to look for.
algorithms and swarm
With great discovery
systems.
comes great
The
responsibility.
rule-based
The
logic
subglacial
ants
lakes of
used to
Antarctica
find
are
the
not just a
shortest
scientific
path
playground.
inspired
They are
computer
unique,
algorithms
ancient, and
used
incredibly
to
fragile
optimize delivery
ecosystems.
routes and
They are
data
among the
traffic.
very last truly
These
pristine places
ideas
on
now
our
help
planet.
manage
The
internet
risk of
traffic and
contamination is
logistics
not
networks.
a trivial matter. A
Swarms
single
of
microbe
simple
from the
robots
surface
follow
introduced by
basic
a
rules.
contaminated drill
Through
could
interaction,
potentially
they
wreak
accomplish
havoc on a
complex
microbial
tasks
community that
without
has
central
evolved in
control.
isolation for
Beyond
millions
technology,
of years.
ants
It could
are
outcompete the
ecosystem
native life and
engineers,
destroy a world
tiny
we are only
farmers
just
and
beginning to
gardeners that
understand.
aerate soil
Recognizing
and
this
disperse
profound
seeds.
responsibility,
Their
the
tunneling
international
improves
scientific
soil
community has
quality,
come
helping
together to
water and
establish
nutrients
strict
reach
protocols
plant
for
roots.
exploring these environments.
Many ants are
The guiding
predators of
principle is to protect
agricultural
these systems
pests,
for future
providing
generations.
natural pest control.
Any mission planning to
Understanding
enter a
these
subglacial lake must
interactions
undergo
is
years of
crucial for
rigorous
conserving
environmental assessment and
ecosystems
technological
and
review.
agricultural
This
health.
involves extreme
Ants
sterilization
remind us that the
procedures for all
smallest
equipment,
creatures
ensuring
can
we explore
profoundly
with the
affect
lightest
the world
possible
around them.
Robotic probes and
Curiosity
minimal
about the
contact
smallest
sampling are
things
the way
often
forward.
sparks
It is
the
a commitment
greatest
born of
discoveries.
respect for the unknown.
We have journeyed
These efforts
deep
are
into the
enshrined
world
in
of the
international
ant.
agreements like the
We have
Antarctic
seen
Treaty,
vast
which
subterranean
designates the
cities
entire
and
continent
uncovered
as a
chemical
natural
secrets.
reserve devoted to peace
For
and
all we have
science.
learned,
Scientific
much
committees
remains a
provide
mystery.
detailed guidelines
How do they
categorizing
coordinate
different
with such
subglacial
precision?
environments and recommending
How do
levels
they
of
navigate
protection.
so
The story of
accurately?
Antarctica's hidden lakes
Scientists
is
still
ultimately a
probe
story
their
of connection
chemical
to our
conversations
planet's
and
deep past
navigation
and the
systems.